we are who we are. That's all we can say, you know.
True. Has everybody's week been?
Uh,
Good. First vaccine shot.
Nice.
Nice.
My power grows.
Yeah, I looked and it seems like for Illinois, I can't get it until like Mayish. Like that's when like the 16 and up goes. So
Well, I mean, considering your city, did you ask about like bullet delivery? Maybe they don't have a lot of needles, but if you ask about just putting it in a bullet,
just shoot me in the arm real quick. Yeah, good one.
oh my god.
I was trying to work to a shooting up joke, but
Yeah. No, I got it. All right, we ready? We've had like a really D&D filled weekend after having like a bit without any real D&D.
Yeah.
well, it's not really D&D filled, right? Because it's just the weekends we had previously that we just took a break from all at the same time.
So you're saying if there's a jar filled with wine, you said no, but it wasn't filled last week. Therefore, this week it's only half full.
Well, no, it's more like saying really D&D filled implies more than normal, but our average is probably pretty close to this amount.
Fair enough.
Mm,
We're ready to hop in.
yeah.
Perfect. And this will be a little bit of a refresher for Adam as well, who wasn't able to make it to the last session. So,
We're on the road again.
on the road again. Last time, the party did a little bit of reconnaissance around town, talked to the temple, to Lunasil, and was able to acquire promise of payment if one of these temples had been ransacked for collecting religious artifacts and bringing them back to the temple, as well as traveling to the mayor's house, trying to achieve payment through that as well, but unfortunately coming up short when it came to acquiring payment. After such time,
To my roles.
motherfucker. After such time, the party decided to travel from the northmost temple to the southmost, traveling through the jungle to try and cut off this member of the astral conclave they kind of figured is in the area. The party then traveled, and after some time, started to see ruins, indications of civilization, before happening upon a ruined bridge across the water with a figure upon it. When approached, the figure took out a vial from their left hip, dropping a few drops into the river before throwing some somewhat, what's the word for it? Vengeful words towards the party before turning tail and leaving. And where we last left, the water around this bridge has started to churn and bubble as bursting from it creatures. So I'd like everyone to roll initiative to start. And I will move you all to a battle map.
So, guys, what did I miss?
These things, he says, pointing at the things coming out of the water.
Fight.
I got a 21.
So everyone able to see that?
Mm-hmm. Is
I can
Archibald here?
roll.
Yeah.
I just have to be muted because when Jason talks, I can't talk too.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, that's 21. There you go.
Cool. Now, bursting out from either side of Geo are these two large size, almost octopus looking creatures. Again, kind of this corrupted pink color. that. Meanwhile, this figure has traveled some distance away. So 19. Okay. Perfect. All right, so starting for the top, it looks like Sill's going first.
Hell yeah. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I've just come out of playing my loot for a while, but I see Geo surrounded by some octopi. So first things first, I give Geo some bardic inspiration. Like, hey man, you're fast. I know you're fast. You can get the fuck out of there if you want to. So you get a d6 of bardic inspiration. You have that for 10
Okay.
minutes. And then I will. Oh, I've got quite the distance to travel to be able to do any melee to them. So I pull out my crossbow and I shoot an octopus.
Which one?
One to the left of Geo, on top, the topmost one.
Okay, this one right here.
Yeah,
Okay, take a shot.
I say hello to my little friend.
Sounds good.
So that is crossbow plus 4. So 18.
18. Okay. And 18 will hit.
All right. Seven damage.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all Sill's gonna do.
Yeah, so you take your crossbow out, you fire, kind of hits up over the bridge before hitting one of the tentacles back that was reaching for Geo. That will make it that octopus's turn. On its turn, it moves to here before, like, these thick purple tentacles kind of onto the bridge, kind of pulling it up towards you before two more kind of reach out towards you. So it's going to attempt to hit you. It'll miss. Yeah, it'll miss. So you're able to duck to the side. It's kind of on this the bridge next to you. Okay. That'll make it Boyd turn.
Yeah, the Boyd. The bird will fly up. Is Geo stancing off to attack one of the octopi?
Looks like he's looking to fall back and potentially attack one of the octopi.
Fall back first, then the bird will not run up.
Sill looks like he's getting ready to run in, though.
Yeah, but the bird can't tell which one you're going to run in.
Oh,
So
no, I'm a doing a split. This is ideal.
Yeah, okay, so for this turn, the bird will really have to delay until Sill's, and then after that, after Sill does his boom, the bird will flank one of the octopi with Sill.
Okay. That'll bring it to the second octopus turn. This one kind of slurps itself up onto the bridge, kind of against, like its suction cups kind of sticking into it and pulling it up and onto it. It would swipe at Geo as well.
Oh no.
Oh no.
A natural 20, so that's the duality there. Okay. So that'll be 8 points of damage as it kind of... And then the tentacle wraps around you and you are grappled. Or restrained, I should say.
Giovanni hisses at this and tries to pull away from the tentacle.
That'll make it Aginette's turn.
Gio, no. I'm going to. I'm going to move up here. Check my freaking range. 30 feet. Okay. So I guess Antoinette, Gio, Ravo, and the bird are getting blessed.
Okay. So that's
the creatures. So it's going to be Bravo, me, and Gio.
Okay. And that's to attack rolls and saving throw D4?
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, that'll make it Gio's turn. Gio, you are currently restrained.
What's the difference between grapple and restraint? Help me out here.
Yeah, give me a second.
New 5th edition rules things.
True. Oh. So your speed becomes 0, and you cannot benefit from any bonus to speed, and attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Gotcha. Because I'm being restrained. Is it an athletics check to get out? What's the check to?
It'd be either athletics or, I think acro's the other one. Yeah, athletics or acrobatics to get out.
I will try acrobatics because I'm slightly better at it. Yeah, just having an advantage on attack rolls seems really bad. 19.
Okay, so you kind of start to pull and slip free, and you're able to do like a bit of pushing the tentacles down as you slip out and land kind of beside them. No longer restrained.
Okay. I'm going to retreat. I will take out. That's okay. Fall back behind Aginette.
Okay. We are getting a little bit of reverb. So there will be 2 attacks against you.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, the 1 will miss. The 19 is a... What's your AC?
It'll hit.
It'll hit. Okay. So it'll be 8 points of damage as you kind of smacked as you go.
Yeah, so with the damage I've taken earlier, that knocks Gio out.
Okay. So you're knocked out. They've got 15 feet of reach. So you're knocked out here.
All right.
Okay. That'll make it Bravo's turn.
Did you not use your D6?
No. I didn't get a chance to.
Oh,
It got me.
he did. All right.
I was muted. Good. I'll launch a catapult this way. They both have to make dex saves. DC 13.
Gotcha. And what is the DC?
13.
13. 1 will pass, 1 will fail.
Alright, so the one that fails takes 3d8. 16 damage.
It's not bad. We'll say it's the second one. No, was it the first one failed? So we'll say it's the first one.
Mhm.
16. Okay.
That's Bravo's turn.
Sounds good. That'll make it Sill's turn. Sill, Geo's like gone flat on the bridge after this.
I can. His location, I cannot explode with him there. So I go, Geo, stop being stupid. Get up. That's a healing word.
Okay.
So, just give me a second. It is going to be 1d4 plus 3 of healing.
How do negative hit points work?
It doesn't.
Okay, so I'm at 0. So
Now you're at 7.
You're at 0, and then there's death saves afterwards, unless it did enough damage to do twice your hit bar. So, like, if something hits you for like 30, you would just be done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So
you're up at 7.
you are prone, but you're up at 7.
all right.
Then I guess I move. I can only get 30 feet up right now.
Sure.
So I go to here. I really want to explode these guys. But I guess I'll go to here instead, and I'll slap heroism onto Ajanet.
Okay.
You got this, lady. You got this.
Thank you.
So you get 3 now, and then 3 more every turn for a minute. So.
Okay. This creature on its turn starts to like pull itself across the bridge with surprising speed until it's sort of positioned there. You can now see that its eyes, instead of being sort of round and opalescent, are this like deep milky color. And again, its tentacles like seem to reach out without much like the mind of the beast. It's kind of lashing out. So this one's going to strike at Sill.
Yep. My AC is 14.
You manage to avoid it. With a F5, it kind of swings past and you're able to duck as it kind of woof over you.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make it Boyd's turn. Averlay's turn, the bird.
Alton, you may be muted.
True.
Alton, you're muted.
I was. Yes. Given where we're at, is still adjacent to that octopus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are large size.
Bird will go flank, flying around to here, outside, like... that,
Okay.
which is like half their movement, and then they will attack just to threaten. They only have a +2. They probably will. Oh. Ready to see sick damage, guys?
Yeah, with a 20 he'll hit. 1 point of damage. 1 on the board for the
I
bird.
have a damage tally for the bird, too.
Yeah, 1. 1 is how much damage it's done.
Go, bird.
Yeah, it's...
Okay. That'll bring it to second octopus's turn. This thing starts to kind of pull and tug itself around and goes to here.
Okay.
And will attack Ajanet, and it is currently flanking. So it will roll at advantage with this attack. Oh boy, a 4 and a 3. I'm almost certain that doesn't hit you.
Armor class 15.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so it comes swinging across the bridge, but like part of the stone shifts out from it and just kind of a tentacle lazily slaps near you as it kind of claws itself into staying on the bridge.
says, "Can you get him out of here? I'm going to blow them up."
My bonus action, I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Geo.
Okay.
Might help.
Might help. Might help.
And I'm going to try and hammer this boy.
The one to your southeast.
Yes.
Okay.
One that's also next to Geo.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to that square. I'm gonna blow him up.
Yeah,
Natural one.
the bridge seems unstable, and your footing, a stone drops from your foot as you kind of swing down, just end up knocking part of the railing off with the hammer.
So I don't provoke as long as I'm still within their reach, right?
Correct.
So like I can move here and provoke him neither.
Correct.
Good.
I'll do that.
Okay, that'll make it Geo's turn. Blaze.
All right. So seeing Syl kind of like running up and like starting to play the tune of Explosion,
Yeah.
Geo will back up to here. I don't think that provokes that up. I think I'm still within 15. I think I'm good. And then, Geo, which of
Maybe
these
take
two-
one step out. Maybe.
I can't do one more because if I do, I'll be outside of this guy's reach.
You do have a protective field around you.
You do have Sanctuary, which is very powerful in 5e.
You don't know what it does, but you know that you had a spell cast on you by Azurnet that seems to have like a kind of ward around you.
Then I would take out off from both.
Okay.
Actually, I can't because I had to stand up and then move over there because I was prone.
Right.
Okay.
So that's your
I'd
movement.
dash. That's my movement. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Manifest a spear. Which one of these boys look injured?
The top one has been hit by the catapult, and also by a crossbow bolt, and it has been pecked, while the bottom one hasn't been hit yet.
Okay, I will target the injured one.
Okay.
And I will use inspiration and bless. All the things. I do roll at disadvantage though, because I'm in melee. So 17.
17 will hit.
Okay.
To be fair, the
Okay.
advantage only worked on you don't roll the other two dice a second time.
Oh,
They're static.
okay.
Yeah.
Even when you have disadvantage?
Yeah.
Advantage?
It's just the d20 that is rolled more.
You roll the d20 twice, and then you add on to the lower one.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. That it would have been
Mhm.
4 and a 1 for both. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
But 17 hits, so 5 points of damage. You kind of send it out, and as you hit, there's like a burst of ink from behind it that kind of out, almost getting the bird, but you kind of see it hit the river and lazily start floating by. Again, this kind of deep pinkish, viscous liquid. I'll make Bravo's turn.
So, does the full creature fall off?
No, the creature's still up.
Oh, creature's still up. Okay.
Another catapult, hitting them both. Both make dex saves.
Okay. I think they both pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of just fire at this like massive tentacles, and just as they come, they all seem to just sort of open up, allowing it to shoot through. That'll make Syl's turn.
Yeah. Okay. Syl, not wanting to explode. First off, Ajanak gets +3. So's like, sorry about this, Adjutant. This might hurt a little bit. And I give you, but I have confidence in you. So you get Bardic Inspiration. Hopefully you will use it on this. I take a step in, and I use Thunder Wave.
Okay.
It's con saves for both of them.
And Jeanette.
And Antoinette.
Okay, what's the number?
13.
One will pass. The other will fail.
Okay. So it's just roll 2d8. The one that fails is push. Only 3 damage. Unfortunate.
Yep.
Low rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Low rolls feels bad. Okay. And you said they're push.
And still take it.
It is
How far are they pushed?
dang it. 10 feet away.
Okay. So Ajanet is also pushed 10 feet away.
Mhm.
Goes from there to here. So it's kind of knocked up and away from the bridge and kind of splats on the ground next to it. Then kind of gets up.
It's 10 feet directly away from me. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll make it its turn. You see it glance around before rushing to here. Actually, probably climbing up to here.
Mhm.
Kind of slurping over the rock before tentacles fly out towards Bravo. What is your AC?
Not higher than that.
Not higher than that?
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. All right. So you take 8 points of damage as it's like and hits you. I think they've only rolled 8 damage, both for their crit and normal hit so far.
Okay. I'm down.
Makes it bird turn.
Bird would probably
Yeah.
follow the same path of instructions, right? So it would fly to
Bird-
flank with me.
Yeah, probably. It's not following instructions. It's just Bird has the ability to like kind of decide its own fate. It's just going to do that because it thinks that's the best. That's the best way to actually materially help the situation.
Okay.
It has enough movement to fly actually all the way around to here. 'Cause that's 60 feet.
Okay. Okay. Will it attempt to attack or no?
Sure. It's not flanking because it's still out of reach. Nope. Hey.
No, a 5 does not hit. Okay, so that'll make it this one's turn. It sort of mirrors its brethren crawling to here before reaching out towards Ajanet. Yeah, that didn't hit either. So you're kind of like picking yourself up from being blasted, and 2 tentacles sort of slam on either side. Making your turn.
All right. I'm gonna flank with Syl. Corner's trying to hit. Huh?
Yep.
Mhm.
So you're rolling at advantage to hit.
Yep. I imagine the first one is hitting.
First one, a 23 will hit.
Okay. Yes, that's a big number, the 10.
Nice. So you bring your hammer down with a satisfying kind of crunch. You're able to like smash one of the connectors of the furthermost tentacle, and it seems to kind of hang dead after that. Creature's still alive, but you kind of smashed one of its tentacles beyond use.
Yeah.
So that'll bring it to Geo.
Geo will look back over the bridge at this fellow, who I assume is like moved on.
Oh yeah, he's been moving each round. You probably can maybe barely see him in the jungle at all.
Manifest a spear. Think about throwing it his way. Decide against it. I'm throwing a spear at the one that's menacing my bird.
Okay.
I do not have disadvantage.
You do not.
But I also didn't roll great. It's gonna be a total of an 8.
Yeah, it kind of whizzes past, and the bird has to duck a little bit as it kind of off into the forest.
Garces.
That'll bring it to Bravo. Needs you to roll a death save. So just a straight D20.
Oh, it's not con.
Nope.
No.
Straight D20. You want to get a 10 or up. Cool. One success.
There you go.
That'll make it Sill's turn.
Sill steps in here, rubs his hands together, and it hits a power chord. So that's just Thunderclap.
Okay.
It's another con save.
Is it for Aginet as well?
No, it's just for the octopi. This is
Gotcha.
only with 5-foot burst. Yep.
That looks like 2 fails to me. A 5 and a 7.
All right. So they both take a d6. Oh my god. Abysmal damage rolls. But Aginet gets 3 more hit points this round. And bonus action, I look to Geo. I say, one more toss, buddy. You got this.
Thank you, my friend.
So, yeah.
Okay. That'll make it this one's turn. It turns its attention towards Sill, who has hit it twice now with these kind of concussive bursts.
Mm-hmm.
Swing out. I'm
That's
almost...
fancy.
Yeah. And it adds some amount onto that, so...
Yeah.
So you'll take 9 points of damage.
Dropping me immediately.
Just kind of reaches back and boom, knocks you out.
I'm at 0. I'm not in death save.
These octopi are wrecking us.
So I'm down, but I'm not in death saves. So, because I'm at exactly 0.
Makes it bird turn.
Yep.
Attack with advantage while watching his master bleed out.
Sill is not currently threatening that octopus.
Nope. Short game, maybe. That moment when Aginet is actually gonna
A natural word, a 1 from the bird, causing a miss from the bird.
Yep.
Brings it second octopus turn. It's going to swing at Aginet.
My least favorite turn, a second octopus turn.
What is your AC?
15.
Okay, that just barely misses. So Aginet is dodging tentacles like crazy right now.
Mhm.
That'll make it Aginet's turn. Yeah, 24 will hit.
I'm having a good time. I don't know. Hi.
9 points of damage. Nice.
I almost would rather. I almost would rather be in death saves so that I had a chance of rolling a nat 20 and pop.
But you also have a chance of rolling an at 1.
Yeah, and taking two fails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So that'll make it Geo's turn.
All right, which one of the two octopi look more injured?
Fairly similar. You know, the one on top has been hit more, but Agenet is really going to town with the hammer, so it's hard to tell without having like a keen medical eye.
I don't have time for that. Not a keen medical eye. I point an accusatory finger at this octopus, and there's sort of the as I cast a hex on it. Pull back the spear, and then we'll hurl the spear at the creature.
Okay.
Do I still have inspiration when
Yes.
my man's unconscious? Okay. I'm still inspired by him.
And now more than ever. 25 will hit.
Whatever. Sue. I have come for you, my friend. 5 points of damage.
Okay. With that, this octopus, as you reach through and send it out, it kind of puts up a tentacle to block it, and the tentacle gets pinned into its head, and it kind of slumps and seems to almost deflate a little bit.
Okay. Giovanni would rush up and stand over Syl, drawing a dagger.
Okay. That'll make it Bravo's turn. Need another roll from you. Another pass. Well done. That'll make it Syl's turn. You are just unconscious.
Yep, that's the end of my turn. And
Okay.
yep, I can't do anything unconscious, so I don't have any special abilities that make me go back up. So
That'll make it
Bird's
octopus. That'll make it dead octopus's turn. So yeah, so that'll be bird.
are we looking at a bird kill here?
16 will hit.
Max bird damage. Come on, max bird damage.
1 point of damage. Yep.
Who damage from the bird so far? Absolute powerhouse. We can all agree.
True. Okay, that'll make it octopus turn. It'll swing at Agenet again. And again, miss with a 5. Wow. Okay.
You and yep, slimy fuck.
Oh, Agenet, you're at +9. Yeah. Health.
Oh,
Do you have
it's
to
not
roll
a
concentration on that?
It is not concentration.
Nice.
It is concentration, so actually it's gone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is gone. Yeah. Well, it is my one concentration spell, I think.
Okay. Yeah, 22 will hit, so 5 points of damage. Okay. It is still up.
Mother.
Okay. That'll make it Geo's turn.
Geo will point an accusatory finger at this octopus, and the as the hex moves from the other octopus to this octopus. Forgot to say it on the last octopus, but I'm hexing strength.
Okay.
If he's making strength checks, he's got disadvantage. Giovanni will then stab at it with his dagger.
Okay.
Oh, 19. So that's gonna hit without
Yep.
the other stuff.
19 will hit.
I don't think. Oh, okay. I do have one. 5 points of damage from the stab.
Nice. Okay. It is still up. That'll make it Bravo. Need another roll, my guy. Okay, that's 2 successes, 1 fail. Sill's turn, bird turn. It's looking bad.
Bird turn.
Mm-hmm.
16 hit.
A 16 will hit.
Bird kill?
Bird kill. How do you want to do it?
The bird. So, in flavor, this is kind of like a falcon-shaped bird. So the bird will fly straight up, and you think it's running away, like I think it's hard to see, and then it flips over, dives straight down into its eye, and plucks it out.
Nice.
Ripping the
Rips it
whole octopus brain with.
Right, just like rips out and like flies right past the eye, just ripping out a stream of octopus.
Nice. With that octopus is dropped.
Giovanni will manifest the spear just to hold it over his head. Hail, gods of war! At the bird's triumph.
Okay.
Successful bird. Now I need to make another death.
I go
As
heal
in
Bravo.
Okay. Are you using magical healing or like a kit?
I'm using a kit.
Okay.
So do I need to make a roll? Does she need to make a roll? How's that work?
She's gonna make a roll with the healer's kit.
I forgot. We have potions. We have healing potions.
Boom. Well done. Yep. So with that, you are brought back up.
Giovanni's
Nice.
gonna set about skinning some octopus.
I settle into the comfortable arms of that which saved me. Like, yes, that's
The Bravo, I have you.
yes.
The octopus really slapped you around.
I think I was doing something else for a few.
Hmm.
Did I die, or do I just feel like?
No, you just feel like this. It's okay. You'll get used to it. I go over.
I would rather not.
It'll happen eventually, but not today. Okay, still. Let's see what the damage is, buddy. Come on. I piece my half-elven friend together again.
Yeah, you're able to bring him to consciousness after working with the healer's kit on him.
So how much do I heal? Am I just put to 1?
Yeah. You're just conscious.
Hello. Did
Hello.
we get him?
We got
Hey,
them.
did we got him? Yeah, fuck those things.
We won, my friend.
Good.
I say, like, elbow deep in octopus gore.
Hmm.
See, the
We
gore is
should
actually
go-
like interestingly very similar colors to Gio's skin. So he just kind of looks like he's glistening from like the elbows down where like his sleeves have been rolled up.
Yeah, it's like when my dog who has black fur got into some purple ink and you go to pet him and then you're like, ah.
No, why have you done this?
So, what time of day is it? That's what I want to know.
It's mid-afternoon. You guys head into the forest
We
about
can't just
noon.
we can't just like take a nap now.
I mean, take a short
Or-
rest.
Well, I don't get any spells back. Short.
I think
I
we have
do.
that we will take a short rest, my friend. Then we will
Okay.
continue.
Let's
Alright.
take a short rest. It will be good for our souls.
I will use my 1 hit die of healing.
Yeah.
So you said about taking a short rest. Putting yourself together, taking some time, sitting down, making tea, really just kind of mellowing out next to this river that just kind of seems to flow by lazily.
When the wind blows through, I use like arcane recovery, manifesting a little bit of magical energy to try and like recharge.
Gotcha. So some wind flows and you're like, try to channel a bit of it into magical power for yourself, making this sort of swirling ball of gust.
As a reminder to everyone, on the Bardic Inspiration stuff, you don't have to add it until after you've seen the roll. You have to add it between the roll being made and him and
Give you the result.
giving you the result.
All right, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to. It's not a lot
Is anybody keeping a watch, or is everyone just kind of chilling out?
I think we can short rest and watch, so yeah.
Anjanette would keep watch because she isn't injured. She doesn't need to rest.
Okay.
Thriller will keep watch as well.
Okay, so Agina can roll with advantage on that, as the bird's like watchfully sitting on your shoulder.
Bird's being a real bro.
Anjanette is very happy that the bird is sitting on her shoulder, but she's quiet about it.
Yeah, looking around, you occasionally see shapes in the water, which you kind of identify as other octopus, but they are like, they could fit in your palm. Fairly small, and they seem to move away quickly. But you're able to spot out a few of them.
I just shoot them with the crossbow.
Unfortunately, you are resting, and they are difficult to see.
All right.
Anjanette examined them a little bit.
Okay. They seem sort of a shade of yellowish green that kind of blends with the bottom of the riverbed.
Big octopus who corrupted. Poor things.
With that, the short rest would come to a conclusion.
All right.
You guys stand on the northmost side of the bridge, just sort of after making camp.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing?
Let's continue to march on. Okay,
Proceed with great caution.
I'll proceed with great caution.
I think we know the source of the problem now. Although we had our suspicions.
Bravo will send Avriller up to take a look ahead and see what kind of situation we're dealing with.
Okay. Yeah, so you send the bird up ahead to do some scouting as you all start traveling south once more to try and make it to the temple to potentially stop whatever it is that's occurring. As you travel, I would like you to make survival checks.
All of us?
Either two people make it individually, one person makes it with advantage.
I'll let someone
I
else
will. I will give somebody an assist.
Okay, I have good. I have decent.
I'm assisting as well, unless Geo is not rolling. In that case, I guess I get advantage if he assists me.
No, she's rolling an advantage, so that's the check is for the group. So with the 13, you're able to sort of track the footfalls of this figure from the bridge. It seems like the walking pace is a bit of a hustle. It's not a run or a jog, but there is some sort of speed to the step. But the footprints seem to continue south.
I tried to hit him with this spear and I missed. He might be tough for us right now. I still think we pursue. What do you think? Do we try and get ahead of him? Seems
I
difficult.
think we just keep going. We got a goal in mind. We've got a lot of distance to cover.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
think we
I
are
think
plan to head him off at the, you know.
I will have Avriller fly. Avriller flies pretty fast, and can see really well. I was just checking the stats of the familiar, and it actually has advantage on sight-based perception
Mm-hmm.
and hearing-based. Anyway, I'm gonna have it fly fairly far ahead, a couple minutes, and see if it can see a clearing or anything temple like.
Okay. Okay, make a perception check for me. As a question, your bird is able to see things, but then has to come back to convey them to you or come within a certain range.
100 feet.
Okay. Is the bird staying within 100 feet, or are you sending the bird out further?
Well, it's going higher than 100 feet. It's not going ahead farther. It's going higher to see more.
Okay. Yep, so really perception for me.
It's plus 3, so it's going to be an 18.
Okay. So the bird sort of coasts up, sort of flapping to gain altitude before resting there for some time, before coasting back down to a range they can communicate. You would get the feeling or the indication that you're probably a little over a mile away, maybe a bit more.
About a way. Slightly. If we assume that they hustled, we assume they know where they're going, which is likely. Then they've probably made up a lot of. We could attempt to run there, but we would be more tired when we arrived. I have made a few runs in my life. I have run track, and I would say that we plan to fight him.
Or we fight him. I'm not exactly at full power right now.
As a reminder.
Hmm.
I think our tactical position is risky. Are we bold? Do we take the risk? Do we rely on hope, or do we rest and accept that the temple will be assaulted before we get there, but we get there at full power?
I say we take the rest. We let him attack the temple, and if he is injured or weakened afterwards, we fight him then.
I agree. The Guardians seem to be normally stronger than we are. It's not as if we could handle him right now, then the Guardians would also be able.
Okay, so do you. We can't hear you, Adam.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So what we need to do then is find where he would leave the temple after dealing with the guardian or poisoning the guardian,
Well, first,
and then so then we can camp out there so we can ambush him when he's
probably
weak.
I don't like waiting for the guardian to get poisoned really. Um
Me neither.
it feels really bad.
well, I agree with that. I hope the Guardian defeats him, but I suppose my point is
Why can't
that
we
if
try to fight him with the guardian?
there is that plan, we could attempt to make a.
I am fine. I am fine with this. It means we will need to outrun him. He's fast, and with his power, he may not need to rest.
do not think he will need the rest. He did not use an extraordinary amount of ability here. I think that if we are going to do this, we'll have to make a dash for it, and I think that perhaps sending Avila to make the initial scout would be a good plan. Tell him to do it right now.
Can you tie a message to your bird?
Yeah.
Warn the temple.
Okay, I'll start.
Tell them that he is coming, and we can try to pursue. If we fail, at least the temple will know.
Yeah. I'll write a message as my bird is coming down. Tie a message. The message will read, "We are a party of friendly adventurers from northern people. There's a threat incoming. Will corrupt you. Defend." And then I will ask the bird to fly, and if it sees a guardian or an uncorrupted priest, deliver the message and leave, and tell me what it sees. So it's in its talons. It's not tied. It's in the talons, so it can drop it.
Okay. Sure. So it takes off sort of into the air, continuing to head south, maybe a little southwest. It starts traveling off in that direction.
And it's hustling.
So for the rest of you, are you following on foot? Are you setting up camp?
I
I
think,
we follow.
we're following on foot. We're not setting up camp.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So you start hustling after it. It's a mile and a half, but it is thick jungle. So it does take a bit of time. Maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But eventually you reach a reflecting pool, much like the first one. This one just oriented a little differently.
Do I feel my bird die?
You do not feel your bird die.
I don't see him or hear him in my mind.
Correct. Looking down, this one has a similar staircase, but this one seems to be more intact.
Curler is dead. He is not near. I do not know exactly why. Those two things.
Well, down the steps, I guess.
Mm-hmm. We should come openly.
Okay. Traveling down, you know that there should be a door that's kind of slammed shut, but as you come to it, for some reason, it's like jammed halfway open.
It's not a good sign. Push on.
I guess we, yeah, I'll help you all. We can all help each other get through. So I'm envisioning it the wrong way. It's like halfway down, so we have to crawl in, or is it?
It's halfway up, right? Because the last temple, you were trying to pull the armor, the door came up, severed the rope. So it's about halfway up, I should say.
So it's like 3 feet. There's some amount of door on the bottom, and we have to crawl up over the top of the door to get in.
Yeah, I mean it's 7-foot door, so it's 3.5 feet. It doesn't present a real obstacle because you're able to just kind of easily hoist yourself up and over it. If you're trying to do something fancy though, like front flip over it, by all means, let it rip. But this doesn't.
I don't have the help to risk getting hurt.
Just front flips it, and I'm like, and there's a cliff. And he's like, woof, 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 into the darkness. Yeah. So you all sort of one at a time, maybe two at a time, start making your way up and over the door. Who's going first?
I will go first because I can just slide in.
Yeah, I'll be right behind.
Okay. So both of you roll investigation checks as you sort of hike your way up and over the door.
Natural 20.
Okay. Yeah, so natural 20, you kind of have to get down chest level because you're not quite as tall as Ajanet, and kind of, hike one leg over, get down chest level, hike one leg off. As your chest level, you can see that sort of the grooves that the door slides into, there's like a mass of blue kind of fluctuating metal that's jammed into the groove. You can kind of see it glint off the sun a little bit, but it seems to kind of like move and flow a little bit, almost as if it's alive, but jammed into the side of the door. You assume that's what's stopping it from going all the way up.
Our enemy has already been here. They're jamming the door with some of their magics. I say, like gesturing to where I saw the cobalt kind of moving.
Mhm.
I'll look over at the
Must
magic
pursue.
and see. I'll look over at the magic and see if I can quickly figure out what it's doing, what this is.
Yeah, sure. Make a Arcana check.
Nice. Well, I'm making it on it. $15.
Okay, 15's fair. Looking at it, it's not behaving like what you would imagine a cobalt to be. It must be some sort of special properties to it. You don't think necessarily there's magic upon it. You get more of the indication that it is magic.
Okay, so it's just how his magic looks.
Okay.
Let me
Silk
rephrase that, because I think so. It's not that this is just like raw magic. It's that the property of this itself is that it's magic. It's not like I took a steel bar and made it magic. It's like the steel bar was always magic. Is the indication you got?
Yeah, it's his character skin.
We'll continue to move in. I think we're
We climb in, and after everybody's moved in, Syl turns around and takes the stone.
Takes the stone.
Tries to remove it.
The whole door?
we don't want to be locked in.
Well,
Come on, my friend.
listen, I'm saying I'm doing this while you guys have your backs
Okay.
turned.
What stone is it?
The thing that's preventing it from closing.
Oh, kind of
I'm
like
gonna
the
take it.
liquid metal.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Okay, yeah, make a sleight of hand check, because this is very much reaching, under the door for your hat, Indiana Jones style, except you're reaching into a door for some metal.
Yep. 8. Oh well.
Yeah, 8. You reach back, and like as soon as your hand touches it, it's like, and your hand is now stuck in the groove of the door.
Oh great, guys.
Now, I would
Giovanni
like
will
to
turn
ask you-
around. What is it, Sil? What is it, my friend?
I would like
I'm
to-
a little stuck. Somebody, guys, you gotta pull me here. I'm stuck to the door now.
Furrow his brow, look over. Look at
Before
like where
that-
he stuck his hand. Sil,
Before that, I would like to ask you what thought made you think this was a good idea? What was your
Okay, Seal, I'm going to peel you off.
Good,
grab
do so.
you.
And, like, Syl like grips his hand as tight as he can into this goop as well, so he can hopefully take it with him.
Okay. There's also the problem that your hand is going from open into closed in a gap, which is like, that's something that climbers use to stabilize themselves. So you've made it more difficult to get pulled out. But
Yeah.
maybe you'll get some of the goop if you're tugged free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Everybody,
Bravo,
somebody assist.
I
Bravo, I am
know.
not answering your questions.
I didn't know.
It's a strength check.
I did 13. Right.
I'll assist, but Giovanni's gonna be like, he's gonna like do it a gremlin style, where he like climbs onto your shoulders and like grabs your arm and tries to pull your arm out. Now
Okay.
he tries to, because like I imagine Adjanet's like arm around the waist, like trying to pull Syl out.
Mhm.
Okay, with a
With advantage,
15,
I got a 15.
with a 15, tugging and tugging, it starts to come loose before you guys are both all like flung back. Syl in tow as you kind of tumble backwards into the chamber. Syl, look in your hand.
Excellent. Did I get you?
There's a large goop cobalt metal that just kind of flows around your arm and hand.
We must
Hell yeah.
sever it.
Okay.
I say, starting to
No, 100%
tie
no.
off the rope at his
No.
elbow.
No,
Why don't you take off your fancy gloves, fancy boy?
I could take off my fancy gloves. Yes.
We could have done it from the beginning!
I am still wondering what part of this was a good idea. Because
Is the door closing?
Yeah, the door is now.
okay, so
I'm finishing tying off the tourniquet, drawing a skinning knife. I will save your life, my friend.
No. No. We don't need to do this, Gio. It's fine. It's okay. It's
So?
okay. Brevo. I'm not gonna look. With the door closed, yeah, he can't come out this way. So he's gotta be able to
He
get
got
out through the guardian door.
In! Only we cannot get out! He got in with the door closed! Only we cannot get out!
You can get in with the door closed from outside.
He didn't open
And then
the
it
door
closes,
properly.
he's stuck it.
No, he did not open the door properly. He forced it open and put it in there.
That does not what it appears like, man. It looks like he stuck it in there so it would get jammed.
After
See.
forcing it open, the grooves were deformed. So he presumably muscled it down, put there, knocked over, nice and easy, and then continued on. Now we cannot do that. So my bird is trapped somewhere, and we are as well.
More pressingly, that is the tool of the enemy. He says, pointing at the cobalt. It may have infected you, like it infected him. So, he says, holding up the skinning knife, get it off of your skin.
Okay. Syl takes off his glove, revealing a tattoo of sorts.
Oh, Vicky, same.
Show me.
Hmm?
Giovanni would actually look at the tattoo, bat the arm aside and get a good look at it.
Okay. It is the you see. Look, damn it! I forgot to open my code of my character sheet summary. You asked me what the coat of arms looks like. Give me a second. Gotta pull this up so I get the description right. So it is you see a tattoo on the back of his palm that is an hourglass in the middle with a waning moon kind of coming up to encircle it, and then it's surrounded by a halo of thorns that kind of wraps around and then wraps around the wrist and upwards on the forearm.
What is this?
Ah,
I have similar ones. But how did you get yours?
it's a slave's mark of sorts.
Oh,
Oh.
I do not like this answer. I woke
That
up
I
with-
think is a deception check. Deal.
Correct. Yes.
And can I make a lore check on this? Because Bravo also is into tattoos. Is there a check to identify it just on my own?
I think you looking at identifying history check is probably the most accurate.
Aight. A 13.
13. I mean, maybe you've seen it before, but you've got no real idea.
Why do I roll so low all the time?
I don't have many knowledges. Would knowledge religion
here's-
apply to look at this?
Here's the thing: you might have advantage on some sort of check to recognize it though, Gio.
I'll let Geo make an int check. Straight int. DC is gonna be higher. As I don't think this is a symbol that he came in contact with.
Okay, gotcha.
A 9.
Yeah, you don't know.
I had not. I misjudged you. I am sorry, my friend.
Bravo will
Who
look at the
did this
mark
to
though.
you? Who is the man who will die for this?
No one needs to die for this, Gio.
Someone
will
die for this. He says, pointing at the tattoo.
It's it's really a long story. I'd rather not get into it right now, but I need to buy some new gloves, and I take off the other glove, and the same symbol but in reverse is on the other arm, and I kind of cover. I like insert this globule that's covering the other glove into that glove. I wrap them up and put them in my pack.
Well, like as you take off the glove, it kind of
Mm-hmm.
follows off of the glove onto your skin, and then interestingly enough, like covers the tattoo, specifically kind of reaching into the tattoo and covers it, spiraling down and kind of connects to the one on the other side. But now it's kind of subtle. You almost don't notice it except this like deep, vibrant blue across your tattoos.
Chilling.
Honestly, pretty cool. Look,
You might
he's
have been
okay.
cursed.
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. We'll figure that out later. We got stuff to do. Let's go.
No. Still,
Here,
come
I
here.
need a name.
Come here. Still, come here.
You don't have to tell me the whole story. I'm sure it's dramatic, but I
Did
need
anybody
a name.
roll to
Yeah, they-
Yes,
They
I
did
rolled inside.
Yeah.
I rolled
You rolled
Yeah.
a 21.
No success.
I can't.
Inside...
I had nothing to it, so I believe you.
yeah.
Who is the person who did this? Who is the
I-
person who will die for this? I need a name. I know names within Sin City.
Still,
Look, it was a long time ago. I don't even remember him.
Still, I have identified prepared. Please come over here so I can see if your arm is infected.
Yeah, all right.
My friend, someone took weeks to put this tattoo on you. I know you know the name.
Weeks, please,
Hey,
Gio,
look,
this would
the
only
guy's
take-
name was Creed. All right,
And then I
Creed?
cast identify.
Okay.
Creed.
Casting identify, sort of looking it over, you can tell that this metal itself has like a magic to it. You kind of get a sense for the aura. The aura itself doesn't seem to be kind of malicious in any sense. This is not evil magic, so to speak. But I'll allow you to make another Arcana check to try to identify further.
Well, it's a check, so I'm gonna fail because I rolled. Well, I rolled over 10 for like the first time, except for my death save.
So 19, thinking back to some of the books you've read, you can recall talks of like what sailors called spirit metal. It seemed to be pretty rare, but the properties of it flowing and kind of adapting to the wielder seems right.
Interesting.
Bravo won't share that part because he does not want to encourage Syl to keep doing stunts like this. But he'll say, "You should be fine. We will have to try and help you understand how to manipulate some." It was still a terrible idea on the whole of it.
You,
Please at least.
you know, you can think that. You think all my ideas are bad, but look, they are to prevent. Ultimately, it was to prevent him from getting out this way. Because
He will
I
still
don't-
get out this way just as easily. Oh. Look,
I do not think so.
in the future,
I think you are wrong, and that's that.
in the future,
Get quicker and go and look deeper in and look around.
Hey, what was that, Johnny? Johnny's calling me. I gotta go.
Let's go!
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow the group. That's
All right.
a question, Sue. What mob was Greed from?
I don't know, man. It was a long time ago.
All right, we'll talk later.
I wasn't with them for very long. That's how they marked their slaves, I guess.
Okay. So you continue to travel on further. This temple rings identical to the last temple that you went into. Um, Sort of looking around, maybe this one seems a little more refurbished than the last one. Perhaps has more religious significance because, like the statue in the center, all of its features haven't been worn off during over time. And as you kind of traverse up the staircase into the next room, the greenery here is thriving. You can see sort of the bridge that leads across and the waterfall off to your left, and all of that seems the water is clear and doesn't seem to be much indication of um, any corruption occurring here yet.
Okay. Well, I guess we just continue on the way we normally. Well, let's go back to that room and check those two where the bed chambers were before. We didn't do that last time.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So you head back out of that room, traveling further back down the stairs around the sort of central statue. This statue you can see is holding like a scepter that has the symbol of a waning moon upon it. But traveling to either side, there are these bed chambers. Both of them seem fairly well made up, and also very simple as far as living. Very simply a bed with sheets, side table, and chamber pot. Just very, very simple living.
It looks like people have been living here.
It seems well made, almost a little bit like a hotel when you first go into your room, but
Mhm.
People have been in the hotel rooms before. It's just been well made, so it's hard to tell if it's abandoned or
I guess
it's
I'm
just
just
clean.
asking if there's like a thick layer of dust or.
There's there's no thick layer of dust.
Okay.
You can occasionally hear the sounds of like air coming through one of the side walls.
Okay.
I will
Um,
just continue walking forward, trying to find my.
Okay. Can I have your bird make stealth checks for me?
Yeah, it actually has a plus to that.
Cool.
+3 even. 5.
Okay. All right. So you head back into the kind of open, naturey chamber. Do you head across the bridge?
Yeah, I'll tell the others. I'm going to go look for Avila.
Okay. So you continue on across the bridge. This bridge again seems a little less rickety than the last one. Certainly less rickety than after you guys visited that bridge. And
Yeah, it should be noted that if my bird dies, I will feel it.
correct. And as you move towards the end of that chamber, you see kind of a white puffball way off against one of the walls. It's out of your sort of range as far as telekinetics go, but like you see the bird like crammed into a corner. Like it's trying to almost like a bird making a nest type deal.
Tilt my head. Wave at it.
There'd be like a little bit of an echoey, and it would sort of fly down towards you. As it gets within 100 feet, you would get the indication from this bird that the next chamber is bad. The next chamber is bad, and I hid.
Okay, I'll have it fly back to the others as I slowly follow behind it.
Okay. You all sort of have finished investigating the bed chambers, and Bravo's bird would come out, kind of doing a circle around the statue before landing on the end of the scepter.
Okay.
Okay.
So, are the gloves clean now? Like they don't have the goop on them anymore?
Correct.
Oh, I put my gloves back on.
Okay. Yeah, now the only indication is like across the upper arms type.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you're going to promise me that you will not run off until I finish my speaking. Is that okay? Just until I finish.
I just have problems when you trying to tell me that I'm stupid or not having good ideas. That's all.
Be-
If-
Go ahead, and what have you found?
Avila apparently found something incredibly threatening. The room right after the bridge is where the god, what is left is, and apparently we are too late. The fact is, this temple is already bad.
So I guess
Perhaps.
maybe we set up camp in one of these bedrooms and get ready for a full-fledged attack, full-fledged assault.
Possibly. I'm going.
Or we attack now. Did he say what was in the room? Was it a diseased guardian or the creature?
Avila would have saw it. What does he tell me?
Through the connection, you get the indication that one who is like you came from the entrance, walked through this area, continued across the bridge, and then went into the next chamber where there was a lot of noise, kind of bad noise. Your bird followed behind through the open door. And then once got to that and heard kind of the sounds of commotions and clattering, hid up in the corner.
It was a battle. The metal arm man has already been through here. He's gone. Too late.
Ah, curses. If he's
No,
already
actually-
gone.
He actually beat the bird here, which is impressive. The bird flies very fast.
Let us rest.
We did take a short rest.
No, but the
Which
bird,
takes
the bird
a
left
while.
before that.
Yeah.
The bird left before we took the rest. He just beat him.
The bird left after the short rest.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a fact.
Yeah, calm. Let's rest. Curses.
Either way, we
Minute.
gotta purify this temple, so might as well do it while we're here.
Gio, with all these purifying temples and things like that, I've actually had an idea. Oh, you say that your war god doesn't have any friends, but plenty of other gods like to wage war.
I see there are other gods of war. What are you getting at?
I'm just saying, temples don't have to be in opposition. They can be unifying. Wage war against your enemies. Wage war for revenge.
You are suggesting an alliance with the lunar god.
Yes.
The reason I wasn't initially considering this, my god is unknown. None of the other major faiths talk about them or accept them as part of the pantheon. That's why I'm prickly about it.
What better way to get a unison happening if, say, I will wage war for you? People are obviously trying to corrupt these temples.
Crosses his arms and thinks about it. Well, I wonder what Latlauki Descat thinks about this.
Gio, consider for a moment, if you will. This may not be the faiths themselves, but rather the people who are practicing or denying God. Perhaps the people ignore your God. It's possible that your God may be, eventually, very well liked among other gods.
Perhaps, but I assume if the god does not mention my god, then they do so out of disrespect, regardless of what people think.
I think that direct contact with gods is where, in general, focus happens. you don't normally hear of the gods talking about the on each and every day that they have. Generally, when people contact the gods, it's about that guy over there in the imposing armor trying to kill me, or possibly the plague, or whatever.
Hmm. I guess the other part of it is I think my god was wronged by another god. I suspect Helios, but I don't know the truth. And in truth, they might not have been wrong. I may be interpreting signs differently.
I'm just saying, I'm not necessarily in opposition to the Luna God, but the Luna God has definitely been wronged, and I don't necessarily feel right in wronging them again by replacing their temples with your God. But in harmony, they could do something together.
Hmm.
Also consider what kind of god would want, what kind of follower. Would your god want you to do something wrong to someone who has been wronged? Or would your god want a more heroic follower who is an undeniable champion?
My god would want a conqueror, but maybe one willing to make allies. There's something in what you're saying. I could see him working as a mercenary.
Exactly. No matter what God is, no matter what God the majority worships, unless it is a God of peace, a God of war could fit in quite well.
Right. Let us. Hmm. Is there a statue? Is there a statue to Lunasil somewhere around here?
Yeah, there's like a 16-foot statue, like 6 feet off, like kind of in the
Alright.
center of this chamber.
Okay. Walking over to the statue, crossing legs, sitting down in front of it, just like taking it in for a bit.
Okay.
Any vibes or anything weird about it?
Um, kind of thinking hard. You don't feel any sort of strong connection or strong disaffinity.
Yep. Okay.
It's like you're sitting out in the grass. It's not. There's nothing extreme.
Okay. Rather than attempting to defile the temple or like knock over the statue or like make it mine somehow. Um, how is the statue like posed?
Um, pretty simply standing, facing, staff in hand, sort of held close to himself. Um, seems to be looking down upon whoever is towards the feet of the statue.
Uh, Help boost me up onto the creature's shoulder.
Okay, fine.
It's much easier from the other side of the staircase that seems to kind of
Okay,
come and
I'll
up
just
on
do
either
that.
side. Yeah, without much trouble, you're able to sort of climb onto the shoulder of it.
Okay. Is there a nearby wall by its like right shoulder?
Not really. It's kind of in the center of the chamber with two staircases on either side leading up to the top.
But on the other side of the staircase is there a wall? Or is
After
it like
probably a 10-foot walkway.
that's fine. As long as somebody looking like straight onto the statue would still appear like above the right shoulder.
Sure.
Okay. Even if it's not perfect, that's fine. Take some of the red paint that I bought from the town. I'm gonna draw a symbol. Um, just as like I don't know, friendly alliance sort of a thing.
Okay. Describe the symbol.
So, um, Giovanni would draw a dark sphere with sharp and jagged edges. kind of like cut into the sphere itself. The jaggedness is kind of chaotic, with sort of larger spikes on it. I will draw it like I imagine like the statue's like 16 feet tall, so I imagine like his head is like 3.5 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah, roughly.
I'm drawing the symbol about the same size.
Okay. So kind of taking your time going around to make the circle and really sort of
Making all the jagged lines in and
Yeah.
all the spikes come out.
really etching it out.
Yep.
Okay. It's like long enough you're able to get the paint fumes really going.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using like a brush to paint?
Nope, hands.
Gotcha.
I didn't buy a brush.
Yeah, so he comes back looking like oh, what's his face from Lion King, who kind of paints Simba and paints on his tree. Rafiki?
Rafiki?
Yeah, Rafiki. He comes back looking a little like Rafiki with kind of red stained hands.
I admire my work for a bit from like the base of the statue.
Okay. So what is
Alright.
everyone else doing, kind of preparing for what I assume is a long rest in this temple?
Mm-hmm. Volo. Not Volo. Oh, get out of here, Volo. Sil is just. He's pulled out some paper and is writing down some notes. He had an idea for a new melody.
Okay.
He's also claimed one of the beds.
Okay. Is it the bed that would be on the east or the west? Since this temple line kind of runs north to the south. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What's everyone else doing to sort of prepare?
Meditating, doing some studying as Bravo looks from one book to his notebook. He'll do pops of magic every so often and practice spellcasting.
Okay. And what of Ajanet?
Yes. I want to try to talk to my friend. Just a simple question.
Okay. So you sort of make your way to a more meditative place. Do you do this away from the others, or are you doing it?
A little away.
Okay. So as far as like, you can either go back to the where the door closed, which is a little far off, or you could go into like the more naturey room.
Nature room. I want
Okay.
the nature.
Gotcha.
And I would ask him, do you feel the nature here? It's darker and deeper below.
There'd be a bit of a pause on it. You kind of are positioned standing near the rope bridge, kind of the waterfall falling in front of it. The waterfall becomes like a little less kind of rough and becomes more reflective just for a brief moment. And you would sort of see a shape sort of moving around behind you. Then the kind of a voice would peek in you, or kind of making your arm hair prickle up a little bit. Well, I can't say I've seen much like it. I do appreciate the green, though.
And
been
you
a
don't
while.
get a lot of it.
No. Fortunately not.
Lot of green, lot of nature. Something you don't get very often.
Oh, to have my feet in the grass once more will be a blessing.
Yes. A blessing I plan to give.
And a blessing I plan to receive.
Hmm.
I wonder, where should we walk to once this is all said and done?
could always wander, find adventure,
Hmm.
new places, things you haven't seen before. You can try.
It has been some time. I always find that the best dance is a little chaotic. And then kind of the waterfall would once more.
Go back to the group.
Okay. So everyone sort of settles down to go to sleep.
Yeah, there's 2 bedrooms, right?
There are 2 bedrooms, 2 beds. They're very kind of small single beds. They're not anything luxurious.
Yeah, but I'll go to the other one.
Okay.
Tiny people have the beds. They don't fit me.
Oh, I'm sure if we took 2 of them next week.
That's selfish.
Really need it. Okay. No, I'll go to the other bedroom. Chill out there. Stretch out a bit. Fall asleep with a magical little candle burning so I can read.
Okay. Still, you're kind of starting to doze off in the other bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm assuming the other 2 are putting up tents and kind of, or just putting up bedrolls.
I'm just putting up a bedroll.
Okay.
Putting up a bedroom.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's fairly restful sleep for being on the road. Roof over the head is a nice touch, and for those in a bed, it's certainly softer than what you've been used to on a bed. I mean, on the road, as far as sleeping goes. For Syl, you have kind of a interesting, not even dream, so to speak, but as you're kind of dozing off, got your sort of hands behind your head, kind of resting, looking at the ceiling, you would start to see like a point of light. And then another point of light. And then it would sort of start to slowly, like, almost as if like your night vision is coming to you. Just you start to see more and more sort of small points of light above you. And as you sort of lay on your back, there'd be like the feeling of almost like you're floating in like some, like you're very buoyant in water. Like you can feel the water on your back, but only slightly. Like you are quite floating on top of it. But it's not disturbing, but it is maybe a little unsettling for you. But you just kind of have that feeling for a little bit before dozing off.
Interesting.
Sort of as you close your eyes, it almost resembles the night sky before you sort of pass out.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, this is nice. Nice to have a bed. Nice to be floating.
Meanwhile, Geo, you awake once more on this sort of black rock beach, this volcanic stoned beach. Off to your left, an immense waterfall sort of stretching across the horizon. Up above, the moon is out. Ever so slightly peeking above the waterfall, sort of casting rays through the vapor and the mist coming off of this rushing water.
Squint at the moon. He'll try to go further into the water than he did last time. I think last time he like picked up a rock and messed with it. He'll try and like wade into the water nearby.
Okay, so you sort of start to slip your sandaled feet into the water. You know, the first footfall lands, second footfall lands. You start to move in further and further. The water sort of slowly moves from like ankle level to knee level to waist level. And then it's something odd sort of starts to occur. Sort of with each step as your foot lands on the bottom of this sort of volcanic rock bed to whatever body of water this is, there'd be like a deep rumbling occurring. So a footfall and then then you take the next step. And it continues like this. How deep in the water do you go?
I'll go up to mid chest. Past that, I wouldn't. Past that, I wouldn't want to.
Okay. So you take a few more steps. And as you get about to mid chest level, sort of floating by in the water, just a small red jewel seems to sort of go past.
I would try and catch the jewel or take the jewel.
Okay, make a dexterity check.
All right. Total of a 19.
Yeah, much like the beasts of the land and the fish of the ocean, you are much too quick. And you sort of are able to reach out almost like a snake and strike this, sort of holding in your hand this red ruby gem, about the size of maybe like a $50, but it's more like ovular in shape. But you're able to kind of look at it as the water sort of drips off of it. You would see some sort of reflection on the water of something to do with the waterfall, but then you would awake.
I check myself for any changes, any jewel or gem.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Okay. Rolling the dice. 13.
Okay, 13. You look pretty thoroughly. You don't see anything that seems to be different, but
Okay.
sort of taking the time, looking over yourself, you start to hear the sounds of morning around you. And with that, we'll take our 30-minute break.
Yeah.
So we will be back in half an hour, and we
it.
will catch you then.
All right.
Later.
Bye.
And we're back.
Yeah, well,
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So you all awake?
Yep.
Except for one of you.
Yeah, except for one of you who's dead. I'll roll a d4. No, you all wake up.
Well, I was the only one alone that night, so.
I was
No,
the
he was
only
also
one
alone. Yeah.
by design.
By design.
You guys got too close to my backstory, and I had to
yeah,
I had
I
to
know.
die.
Wait.
Yep. So
Alright.
Oh, such drama. Disgust.
so you all awake.
Yep.
Mhm.
Go to join up.
Bravo's
Let's-
doing his morning
So how
routine.
did everyone rest?
I think I had a vision. But
You
it
hear-
was good. The last one was frustrating. This one, I think I learned something.
That's good.
Yeah, learning things is always good, but that leads us to the other question. Why?
Why? What?
Why did you have a vision? Eh?
How about you tell me what organization Creed is from, and I will tell you why I had a vision.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna insight check.
I'm also
Okay.
probably gonna insight check.
Okay, I'm gonna roll deception then, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like my man's trying to keep me safe by lying about what organization they're from, even if this is a fictional dude.
Yeah,
I don't think.
he seems legitimately not to know.
Calm now. Every in Sin City has a mob, so to speak. I'm surprised. All right. Well, you answered my question honestly. I'll answer yours. Um, I think it's because of my connection to the god. I think he's trying to tell me something. I'm not being told all of it at once.
Bravo just raises
Thank
his
you.
spell book and starts readying spells.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to know about my god. He's just okay. So, I don't really understand the concern, but I'm here to support you as your friend. So, whatever you need, I got you.
Uh, hmm. I could tell you about the cycles of my god if we have the time and you're interested.
Yes, let's put a rain check on that. I am interested. I always like learning things. But right now we gotta go clear out this temple, huh?
Very well, my friend.
Oh, well, you have 45 minutes or so, or like, readying my.
Seems you have some time while he raises his spell.
What
Spells.
spell is he doing? Oh, I gotcha.
Like for the day. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right. I guess if Bravo's encouraging it, I'll go for it. Do, do, do. So Giovanni would draw a circle out on the floor. Go to like the noon position of the circle. Kind of tap the top of the circle. Uh, in the first part of the cycle, an immortal warrior is born. They are depicted as having gold skin, wielding a red spear. They have 4 fingers on each hand. Sort of move on clockwise to like the I I guess like 3 o'clock position. In the second depiction, they are shown as killing many monsters and men, hewing through them like a farmer cutting down stalks of maize. Touch the location. Move on a little bit to I guess continue to move down the circle. In the third depiction, they are shown bending over a corpse and peeling their skin off. Again, rest a moment there, move around the circle. In the fifth depiction, their power is that near of a god. They tower over a mountain of corpses, covered in layers of layers of flayed skin. That's the fourth. The fifth depiction, they remove their flayed skin and perform one last grim harvest, skinning themselves before ascending, leaving the skin of gold behind. And with that, he would move back to the starting position and point it. A child finds the gold skin, and an immortal warrior is born. That's the cycle of Latlau Kitesket.
That's pretty cool. I like things with cycles.
Yeah.
You don't have that much different from you and people who worship the moon as far as worshiping a cycle.
I see the similarities.
And with that, I
What
snapped the book
moon?
closed. Probably partially born of the volcano. A lot fewer cycles. We do not wish the volcano to go off. I am ready.
All right. Come with me. Let's go.
Okay. So the four of you make your way up the staircase on either side, proceeding into the sort of nature chamber. Traveling across sort of the wooden bridge, you get indications from the waterfall that the water is still clear for some reason. While last time you could have seen kind of the purple corruption pouring out, this time seems to be fairly clear water.
Interesting.
Earlier it's possible.
Maybe he's still in sight.
He is about to have a very bad time.
Well, let's go check out. It'll be less of a problem now that we're all healed up.
Okay. So heading further in, you're able to get to the next door and open it. And within is kind of a gruesome scene. You know that this room from the previous experience in a temple, seemingly identical to this one, there's sort of a circular room with a staircase sort of laid into the wall that heads towards where the guardian is. You see sort of the two temple guards sort of laid out in this area. Each one laying in a fairly sizable pool of blood. You can also see that the door to kind of the relic room or archives has been ripped off from like the corner of the door down.
Wow.
What a bastard.
This is nothing new. We knew this was probably going to be gruesome.
I understand that. I can still curse the bastard out. I'm going to bury them.
Okay.
But I'm going to treat them properly.
Okay. Sort of as you take the bodies and look over them, do you mind making a medicine check for me?
Yeah. 7. It's a good skill, but you know.
7.
roll 2.
So there's some things that are obvious. You can tell that, first of all, they were pierced through their feet more than anywhere else. And then, like, it seems like most of their wounds, again, were from, like, a bottom-up type like through the kneecap from the bottom, through the arms from the bottom, sort of that type of wounding. Doesn't seem like any of it came from straight on or from behind.
Spiked stones.
Can you tell how long it took them to die? Did they
No,
bleed out?
I can't really tell.
Spiked stones or torture?
Well, they were in a pool of blood thing.
Right, but they could have been in a pool of blood after or before dying. It's difficult.
People don't sit around and let you torture them.
Think they did.
We're not hearing you, Alton. I think you're not facing your mic.
I don't think that they sat around and encouraged it to happen. I just think that it's possible he dumps them here. We don't know. It's all it's tough to tell. Either way, they need to be buried.
All right.
But not right now.
Well, no,
Okay.
we do not have time right now. But after.
We should go to the Guardian room.
Okay.
What?
I don't think it's left yet.
Yeah, so as far as in this room, you know that there is a lever that releases sort of the wasps they use to sustain themselves as well as sort of help them. There's also the archive room, and then there's the staircase that sort of goes up the wall that leads to the guardian room.
We go to
I'll
the
peek in
guard.
the archive room if it's open.
Yeah, the door has been like split from like the top corner to like the middle, and then the other kind of half, whatever, 2/3 of the door has been ripped off the hinges.
Can I make a perception check to see if anything's obviously been missing or grabbed?
I think investigation is more applicable because you're going through the room investigating it. 15. Looking around, it seems like most of it is untouched, despite kind of the debris from whatever trauma happened to the door. From the last temple that you went to, there was like a secret compartment where whatever this vial of pink liquid was found. You can see wherever that would have been placed. It looks like the wall has been smashed, but it doesn't seem like there was anything sort of beneath that.
He only went in for one thing. Difficult to tell if he got it.
You can tell that there was no interior chamber that held something there. It's kind of like you can see someone has broken the drywall here, except there's nothing behind it, just kind of cracked through the wall.
He was looking for another sample of the corruption. He did not seem to find one.
Good.
Let's go.
Okay.
On the road.
So you take your sort of knowledge that you've gained and you head up the staircase, sort of further into the guardian chamber room. And within it is an interesting sight. There doesn't seem to be anything up and moving, nor do you see the central tree, but instead there's a bud of kinds. Almost like a large flower bud. And it's kind of sitting in the center. You can see like roots starting to take. And the bud itself kind of has, instead of hard to notice veins that like a leaf has or a tree has, these kind of are coursing with this dark purple. But again, it seems to be like a bud. It's not quite as large as any of you. It's about chest height on you.
I
Okay.
think we kill it before it regenerates.
Is it? It doesn't seem to be poisoned, or it does seem to be poisoned.
No, it's got the purple in its veins.
Yeah, you can see like the plant veins are a little highlighted by the purple sort of liquid flowing through them.
I want to examine it at first, at least. And we
I also fix.
Okay.
I'll
So I think this is a nature check to examine this, unless you're looking at specifically at the corruption.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm looking specifically at the corruption.
Okay. So
I'm
it seems like
looking-
Astronaut's making Astronaut. That's like if you're an astronaut. Astronaut is looking at like the plant itself,
yes.
while
I guess I'll assist Jeanette.
I will be assisting you if that is your bonus.
It is, okay.
yeah. So just roll again with at advantage, and for Bravo, if you want to make a investigation check. Okay, so 17s for both. Thinking about sort of the nature and considering all this, um, first of all, one thing is kind of confirmed for you that you were told that the Guardian goes through cycles, and once it's defeated, it kind of regenerates after time. It's an interesting way that it's doing it, but it seems like it starts its cycle back from the beginning and then grows once more. So you kind of have the thought that the longer a guardian is in place, the stronger it gets over time. So you kind of get that thought that this is something that matures as time goes forward. Um, and with a 17 investigation,
That's a nature, yeah.
no, Bravo made a 17 investigation. So sort of looking over and investigating it, you don't see any marks of like any tampering with this. So whatever happened to this carried over from when it was big, you think?
He corrupted the previous cycle and killed it, meaning this is after it's already been reborn. We could try killing it again and hope perhaps that in order to do this he had to plant it with the corruption. It's my best guess.
The last one we killed to save. This one we killed to save.
Correct. After we kill it, I would like to look into the soil and see if I could find some sort of seed of evil that he has left in there. Could take that out. Maybe it would help.
Yeah, as far as looking around the chamber, you know that the floor is mostly stone and that the roots seem to spread after time and kind of go into the water surrounding. So there's not soil per se, but you could certainly investigate the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use precision, light a torch. Try to burn away some of the bud.
Okay. Yeah, taking a torch and sort of placing it against it, it doesn't go up instantly, but after a bit of time, smoke starts to rise off of it, and then areas start to catch, and pretty soon it starts to spread sort of throughout this whole bud. Smells pretty nauseous.
Okay.
Fire is very well respected at home. Many of our judges have an aspect of fire among them. Including my father.
Giovanni gets bored, manifests the spear, releases the spear, manifests the spear, releases the spear. Are we
All right,
prepared for combat?
I am. After the bud time burns down a bit, I will try to use identify on the area it was growing. See if I can see any corruption there.
Identifying it, you don't get anything magical, though you think the chamber itself has some magical properties to it. It doesn't seem like there's anything sort of magical left behind, though.
I think after we examine the chamber, then we are done here. He has already moved through here. We have not seen him. We've been through the entire temple.
Is there any relics that we need to collect? We should also just sort of slice this bud up. It's not fully burnt away, is it?
I'm throwing a spear, hitting the bud with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it started to char pretty thoroughly around it, but through the two of you slicing and dicing, you're able to pretty well disassemble this thing.
Yep.
And sort of once you've really thoroughly taken apart, you do see like a small, maybe no taller than like a Lego man, just sort of blue bud sitting where you had sort of destroyed the center of this creature.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with the wasps.
And paraphernalia in the archives. If we do wish to recover the relics, that's where they are.
Do you think we should leave them? Is that what you're saying?
They'll do not. They'll do no good here.
Yes.
I don't have a specific. It is not my religion, and I am a foreigner. The money would be nice, but
Oh, you're talking about removing items to sell to the fellow who wanted them.
well, Scylla asked if we should look for the relics. The archive is where they are.
Yeah, so we have to go downstairs anyway. Might as well try to recover whatever we can, yeah?
At the same time, when I was on the train of thought to looting the place, I would be for what you're saying. Now that I'm aligning myself with the god, I'm not sure I want to loot this temple. I don't much care for the other member of the faith who was looking to try and take the relics for them, or rather take the relics for the more local church.
What if we use them to wage the war we want to against that guy? 'Cause
Oh, I'm fine with that.
if
Tell
they're
you what.
useful against that, we'll take them.
Tell you what, will you deal with the wasps? I will go in the archive, try to find anything useful, alchemically or magically. And if there is something that is not useful, I will just leave it.
All right. But let us know if you find anything of historic or religious value. Even if we leave it, we want to know what we left.
I will keep a thorough manifest.
Okay. And so you split up, two of you going to try to mess with the lever to release sort of these mega wasps from like an enclosure, while it seems like Bravo's heading to the archive rooms. Where's Syl heading?
Syl is also going to the archive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the group that's releasing the wasps, it's pretty easy, pretty quick. You kind of know how to like pull the lever down, shift it to the side, then move it all the way, and the door kind of up within darkness, but then following would be a as like 3 or 4 wasps that are, each the size of a small pony kind of fly out and start making their way around the chamber, landing in several different places, some of them going up and into the chamber.
I would like to make a knowledge religion check about the burial rites of the lunar god.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we go. Total of a 21.
Okay, 21's pretty good. You've definitely read about this sort of thing. You know that generally the thought is to bury them where there is sky access. Makes it easier for them to sort of ascend into the next life after burial.
Okay. I'll relay that to Ajanet. Johnny, we should take their bodies out of the temple, up by the vision, well, where their god can watch over their burial sites, and they can perhaps ascend into the sky.
That makes him.
Okay. Meanwhile, the group that's investigating the chamber, you either can both roll investigation, or if you're doing something specific, then there's basically, it is a room that is about 5 feet wide that goes about 15 feet deep. It has a number of shelves on either side with various implements on.
Yeah. So
yeah.
specific. I'm looking for 2 specific things personally. Any information they have on the Golden Progression and maps or layouts regarding the other temples and possible shortcuts.
Okay, yeah, make an investigation check. And what is Bravo looking for?
I'm looking for what they value most. I'm trying to find out what they thought is most important. And then I'm going to use identify on whatever I find.
Okay. Sure, so I guess make a knowledge religion if you're looking for, or a religion check if you're looking for what's kind of significant to them.
Oh, I thought it'd be investigation because I'm like trying to look at what was organized via the archives is most like it's archived, right? So it's sorted.
There seems to be some sort of sorting. Yeah, I guess you don't know what nothing is on a pedestal with light glowing down from it. So it's like,
There's no like security measures. There's not like some things are behind like a barred setup.
right, no. It's equal housing on both sides of shelves.
Oh, in that case, I'll try to find the things that have the most arcane or religious symbology directly upon them. Just look for look for things that have the most the most weird marks and strange properties.
Okay, so you're just looking for something that has the most writing on it?
For example, writing, or like it's faintly glowing or whatever. I'm trying to look for basically what's most valuable. Just guessing like, all right, this thing has runes and it's got an arcane design. Maybe it's doing something.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Because I thought this was more like a sorted library, not an equal shelving area. That's 16.
16, looking things over, you can find a few what you assume to be holy symbols. You're able to sort of look through. There seems to be like an orb that seems to be well polished. It's about baseball sized. Looking through, it doesn't seem like anything has anything especially magic. Syl is just as with the natural one. He's just humming loudly. You know, he got his brain going about golden progression, and it's just like he's got 1,000-yard stare, and it's just humming.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm like walking out with a small bundle of stuff, I'm like,
Gotta love that.
Nice tune.
Roll one. That single one.
You know, Zill, you should work on that. It's a nice tune. And then I walk out and start casting Identify.
Okay. Again, looking things over, nothing seems to have specific magics upon it. Not even like the orb itself seems to have some kind of magic, but nothing else.
Well, what kind of magic, Doc?
Seems to have a slight divination sort of magic to it. You'll need to make an Arcana check to figure out more.
I'll try it. I'll give that a shot. Normally, Identify tells me those kinds of properties.
Yeah, but this is kind of divine magic, and it's a little obscure.
Okay, I'll try an Arcana. 15.
15. You think that perhaps if there was another one of these and they were attuned to one another, there could be some sort of communication between the two?
This we should. This is a rare artifact. It could be a communication device among others of the faith. These other things are various holy symbols. Important to them, but not terribly useful in our war. Oh, I'm the only one here. Well,
Looking out, Sill's still thinking about music a little bit. You can see where the two bodies were kind of taken off and out.
Mm-hmm.
I start carefully and respectfully packing them. I write a short manifest and I hand it to my bird. Find Geo and use this to him.
Are you handing the bird the paper or like everything packaged up?
A paper with like,
Okay.
like a written out.
For the group that is taking the bodies, where did you go?
We're going outside the temple because we're looking for like a place where it's like got direct line of sight to the sky.
Okay. So you're going back towards the front door?
Yeah.
Wasp door?
Right. You do remember that there was an exit by where the guardian is.
We'll go out that exit.
Yeah.
Okay. So traveling up and around, sort of taking your time, because you are dragging a body upstairs that don't have a very large or really any railing to it on the inside. You're able to make your way and sort of find that hidden chamber door that seems to slide out of the way, and able to shimmy your way up and sort of climb out into the daylight. Around this time, it's about sundown. Actually, you slept 8 hours. I would say it's actually early morning at this point.
Okay. I don't have a shovel or a spade.
I got us covered. I do, in fact, have a shovel. Yes. Yes, I have shovel. I use shovel.
Okay, sure. So you guys are sort of getting after digging a hole, and Bravo's bird would kind of pop out of the tunnel that you guys came from before sort of resting on the end of the shovel. Seems to have some sort of like note on held in one of its talons.
I'll look at the note.
Okay, listed seems to be probably 5 or 6 things that seem to have religious significance: small stones, a tablet, symbols, and then sort of a special note to a small glass orb that seems to be able to some way magically communicate with another orb that it's attuned to.
I will ask about the tablet because it's a curiosity for me. Everything else I'm thinking should stay here.
Alright, sounds good.
I'll head back downstairs and ask Bravo. Show me the
You
tablet.
find Bravo in kind of a weird state. He's not naked, but his like torso is exposed, and he's sitting cross-legged in front of the little bloom with his obsidian necklace out, and he's chanting something.
Furrow brow. Bravo, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting something. I had a question about one of the objects.
Oh yes, I can resume. And he just like shuffles his rose back on. What was it?
What was the tablet? You
Not
did
sure.
describe it well.
Well, I only had space note. I'm not entirely sure yet. I was intending to translate it more thoroughly when I got back to the town.
We'll take
I
it
will
with
do it
us.
in. Sure, I will do that, and I will give you a translation when I manage to produce one. I'm also going to take the orb. It could be. It is a communication device of sorts, and I think that if we do manage to use it to communicate with the other members of this older styles of faith, we could warn them about the man. The rest I intend to
I think we
leave
take the
here.
Yeah, we take the tablet and the orb. We leave the rest.
I agree. I'm going to continue with this rites. It's a religious blessing from home. So, do not think I am doing anything strange.
Alright. I assume it was something wizardly, not religious. He shrugs. That's fine.
Well, generally, wizard work does not require me to be with her. But it's interesting that you think it is so exciting.
Bro. I do not understand the way of wizards.
Perhaps someday I will show you the best parts of the wizard work. Until then, I will resume. I hope it is no bother.
It's not a problem.
The bird will follow you. Feel free to give it a note if you need anything from me when I return.
I will in time. Kind of scratches his arm a bit, and then would
Still strides out of the thing like, so are we leaving?
in a bit. Jeanette's still digging holes for the bodies. After that, we'll leave.
And Bravo's resumed. You know, there's like a small design sketched under him. His
Well, I'll go-
necklace out. He's
I'll
using
go help
magic.
Johnny just to make sure they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I go up there to help Johnny.
At this point, probably one of the holes has been dug and the other one's in progress.
You're here. Here, take the shovel, start digging. And I sit down.
Yeah, Sil starts digging.
Johnny just picks her feet, watches him dig.
Okay.
Meanwhile, primordial chanting from the temple.
Yeah, but after probably half an hour, maybe an hour, you are able to complete your ritual as well as finish sort of covering up the two bodies.
Get back to the city. Get back to town.
Or do we go to the next one?
We could go to the next one.
I think we go to the next one to try and head off the.
We need to
Well,
make up some time too, I think.
Okay.
The next one was on the way to this. I think our logic was that we wanted to try and head him off here. We should go to it, I agree, but we're probably just going to be finding another corrupted guardian.
Fine. We got it anyway.
So far, you've been to the north and the south temple, and there's now the east and west that haven't been explored by you.
Well then, we flip a coin.
The only question.
Sounds good.
The only question. The east or west?
Heads east. Tails west.
Okay.
Heads is 1.
Okay.
Roll it.
West it is.
Okay. Okay. So you all sort of take the time and sort of finish up the burial rites to the best of your knowledge before making your way west. Really, it's kind of northwest since you're on the south and you want to go. Right.
Yeah.
But you start traveling through the forest. It wouldn't be more than an hour, 2 hours later who is holding the orb or keeping the orb with them? Okay,
Yeah.
you would kind of see it out of like your side pouch where you're holding it sort of glow a bit.
I'll pick it up and focus my magic on it. Try to see what it's doing.
Okay. How long do you take to study this, you think?
As long as I can. We're just walking. So while I'm walking, I'm like
Okay.
studying the glowing.
So
Casting identify if nothing happens.
So studying the glowing, sort of working over and really sort of getting in touch with it, you attune to this magic item. And in doing so, you would hear a voice.
Oh, wait! I have done something productive. What is it saying?
Giovanni would approach, kind of squatted down.
You would hear a voice sort of, it seems like it's coming from the orb, but from the look on your companions' faces, nobody else hears it. You'd hear you were supposed to report about this strange visitor. Is everything all right? We haven't heard from the North Temple either.
I am a wizard who has come to rescue your priest. Unfortunately, we could not make it to the South Temple in time from the North Temple where we found dead priests. I'm coming to help both your East and West temples. However, there is a threat coming faster, probably, than we can manage to one of them. We do not know which way he is going.
There would be some sort of pause, some time passes. Um, then you would hear, uh, very well. We here in the Western Temple, we can send a message to the Eastern Temple. I don't know. I don't think we can evacuate.
You should ready a guardian for a pitched fight. If you can, barricade your door. We are currently moving towards you, but the West Temple, that is where we are going currently. However, we are still not exactly close yet. My name is Brevo, the wizard, and I travel with Aginet, the heroic Hamoverde, Savantis, the cunning bard, and Giovanni, the faithful warrior.
Can you ask him about the weirdo that wants all the like artifacts from the temples they apparently never visit, even though they've
Oh.
purged that code?
Oh, yeah. Let me see if he has a response to what I have just told him first. I do not want to overwhelm the man.
After some time, the orb would once again sort of pulse with energy. Very well. Do we know what this strange visitor is after?
He is taken a corruption. I described the vague alchemical facets of it. He is attempting to fuse it with your power and use it to manifest his own power, for personal power, presumably. However, he is apparently too lazy to develop any personal power of his own and seeks to just destroy yours. Oh, as well, we had a strange encounter in the city. There is a priest there, and we are wondering why he wants your religious artifact.
Once again, the orb would glow. There are many different sects of worshipping Lunacel, if you can imagine. I don't imagine any of them to be very disagreeable.
Well, there is a sect that wishes apparently to get to know you better.
Well, we'll look forward to it after this. They'll have to visit us. We don't leave here.
I can tell. please, we will make our haste to the Western Temple. If you could share this news and attempt to save your noble faith, it would be preferable. We would like to meet some of you alive and get to know you a bit better.
We'll keep the temple on lockdown. Send a message once you arrive.
And then I'll wish him luck in Primordial.
Okay. There's no response.
He has stopped responding. Perhaps he's asleep.
Or maybe it only works for so long. Or that was all they had to say.
Yes. In any case, they are sending a message to the temple, which I don't know how to do, so that's good. And also, they are on lockdown. They are beginning their siege defense. They also said that they are not necessarily opposed to the city sect, so we are not grave robbers.
Where do we go from here?
The Western Temple. They wish us. They apparently wish for help. They cannot evacuate for some reason, so it is now a game of defense.
All right,
Is
we'll
it-
go there.
And they said I will send them a message and they will let us in. Inform us.
All right. Sharpen your spears. Make ready for war.
I have no idea.
Giovanni would like pump his arms and would start to make out towards the west.
Start
Okay,
to make
Giovanni, I'll
out.
sharpen my mind.
to make out. Pause.
He does like the where you put your arms around yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so you all make your way further west, and whether it is encouraging or discouraging, you don't receive any messages along the way. Once you arrive and you see the reflecting pool, the door seems untampered with.
I will again focus on the orb. Yeah, here. Wish to help.
There wouldn't be a response, but you would start to hear like as the door starts to slowly rumble down.
I will wave and try to cordially greet whoever is there.
There are two figures there with kind of two large hovering things behind them. You must be a Bravo and Ajanette, and one of you is Sylvantus, and the other, and that's Geo. Please come in.
Giovanni, Crisena.
Come.
Alright,
Go
I
in.
can.
Go in.
Kind of see him flicks a lever over, and the door would kind of close behind. You can imagine how disturbing it is to hear what we've been told.
Yes, but you can imagine how encouraging it is to finally meet some of you alive as well.
We're uncorrupted at least.
Yes, we were beginning to become terribly worried.
Yes, well, I know of the corruption you speak. There is a vial here as well that we've kept locked away.
In the Southern Temple, he attempted to break your archive wall. He is either addicted or needs a lot of.
With one vial, he could corrupt a temple. With more, he might be able to corrupt the whole force.
What is in the vial? I've heard it described as a poison, kind of.
I attempted to analyze it myself, but with only incomplete samples and dead samples, it's very hard. I would appreciate you in educating me.
Follow me. He would sort of talk as he starts to lead you up the stairs past this same statue. Many years back, there was a great rot that set into the forest. Said to be so bad that nothing could withstand it. That was when the blessings of Lunacel herself shrieked through the forest from the skies, purifying it, but a lot of the damage had already been done. Many places were in ruins. Most of those who lived in the forest fled either to the north or to the west. Those in the temple, we were able to keep safe behind sealed doors. This again was before my time, but it's said that 2 temple guards took it upon themselves to take the remaining corruption into themselves. And this eventually killed them, but the rot itself was able to be trapped in specialized containers from this. So we've been tasked with both keeping the temples and making sure that rot never escapes.
So what you're saying is that even if I were to take us a vial and we were to run at that speed away, even if we could get away, the loss of itself problem.
The loss of the rot?
Even if I were to take the rot away and we were to get away just fine, the loss of the temples itself would be a problem on its own. So that may return some portion of it.
I'm not sure. I know that given free reign, seems like this mysterious figure looks to corrupt the forest anyway. The thing about the rot, it's ancient. It has a will of its own. Unless this figure, this mysterious stranger, is quite powerful, I don't imagine he's in the driver's seat.
He is powerful, however, I also do.
He was described to us by the other temple guard who was infected as having lost control after stealing some gauntlet or something as well.
I don't know about any gauntlets. We only had the vials.
Well,
He will, I guess maybe he stole it and he lost control is basically what I'm saying.
I mean,
The poison from the northern temple.
it makes sense. We were told to never let these. That's why they were sealed in the walls. They were never meant to see light.
okay, well. And does the other temple have a sample as well?
No, there's only 2. One was housed at the northern temple. The other is housed here.
This is a sickening equation, but could they possibly reinforce you, given that you have the sample and apparently he is going to visit all 4?
No, we don't leave the temple. If they leave, then the eastern temple is left on guard.
Okay, DM, how far away is town?
Thinking about it, you're fairly intelligent. Maybe day and a half, maybe 2 days if you're really. 2 days if you're really being cautious about it.
No, this is a difficult task, but possibly could we take that corruption, move it elsewhere? He comes by, and to save your lives, you say, yes, they came by and took it, and they went in this direction, not the direction we actually went. Go get them. And we go the fuck off. Go to a different temple to Seluna.
All I have to go off of is the stories we've been told, but I think the rot would pleasure in destroying the temple.
If you doubt
even
us,
if it's a little bit, it will destroy.
Hold on. You do not just have the stories. I reach out and pull a sample. This is what she talks about. The sample is of rot.
I think he is saying that their deaths are sealed, or at least his attack is.
I think we can guarantee that he will visit both temples.
understood. So
All right.
we
What
were.
can we do to protect this temple?
Well, we have many defenses, and if you're as formidable as you say, perhaps we can team up, try and.
I would happily team up.
I will. I will join your team. I joined your team earlier, so to speak. Our gods are now aligned for the time being.
Oh, that's good to hear. We could use as many eyes over the shoulder, I suppose.
That's a charming turn of phrase.
I am but a wizard. I am not a particularly powerful wizard yet. I will be someday, but I'll help you where I can.
So we're not. Well, I speak for myself. I'm not very tactically minded. It seems like we know the ins and out of this temples, and you've got a fairly decent idea as well. What are we thinking?
You have some natural choke points.
And the forest can be disorienting, and also the bridge. Is there a rope bridge?
Yes, we have a rope bridge.
Oh my god, the rope bridge.
Yes, it can slaughter an entire army's at rope bridge.
We must have a much different rope bridge here. It's only about 20 feet long. It's like planks and rope.
If you cut it,
Well, if we could set up the bridge to drop, maybe we could drop him into the river, but then he might just corrupt the river right away. All the water source all at once.
Right.
More directly.
but
But the
honestly,
archive is past the bridge. What we need is we only need to protect the vial.
the corruption to affect largely, like, remember the plant creatures and also the little octopi. Maybe if we restrict how many animals are in his general vicinity, those animals won't be corrupted. So kind of restrict what he's able to corrupt.
I see.
like
We do a controlled burn. Set most of the forest in the area on fire to prevent.
No. No. No.
It's not a bad
Oh,
idea.
no,
I
we
feel
will
like
take away
everybody
his
would be
ammunition.
against this.
Take away his ammunition.
Here's my point. Let's focus in on exactly what we can lose. Kind of borrowing from Gio's further. We need to keep the vial. The vial of corruption. As long as he does not get that, then the forest can recover. Is that correct?
As long as he's rampaging around the forest is not safe. But if he doesn't have both vials, he doesn't automatically win.
Sure. So the fact is the vial is an unconditional point of ours. We need the vial. No scenario where we lose the vial is possible. Correct?
That ends positively no.
Right. In that case, we need to put the vial in the wasp room where it is sealed, if possible. That way it is not where he expects. He did not savage the archive in the other temple and he did not find a vial there. That, if possible, the wasps cover up the vial and we set up to defend the rope bridge.
Very well. We also, the Temple Guardian, I'm sure would be willing to assist, but we
I think we
won't.
need
We'll
all
have
of
to
our
use that
fighters.
room. Is what I'm saying.
Yes. Sure.
Another thing to
We can
consider.
retreat. We can retreat to that room. If we put the vial in a room he does not expect, then he seems to want to apply the corruption to the Guardian. So the Guardian is a room he will go to. So, if we put the vial in the room he does not expect, in the back of the wasp room, maybe have them cover it in amber or hunt or whatever they do. I do not understand the wasps terribly well, but if we have them cover it, hide it away in a pile of wasps, and then we retreat to the Guardian room if we are pushed too far.
Don't know. What do you think? The rest of you, any thoughts?
Well, I think
That could work.
I don't think if his goal is poison the Guardian, yeah, I don't think it's smart to have the vial in the same room as the Guardian. But he hasn't seemed to check either of the bunk rooms.
I also feel like it's dangerous to relocate it. It makes the target on a much squishier. We want his focus to be spread out amongst us
Well,
rather
that's why I
than.
said. That's why I said bury it in the wasp room in amber, so it is not visible and it is not on any of us in case one of us falls. He hasn't checked the wasp room. We know that because all of the wasps have always still been there.
That being said, I think if he doesn't find the vial, he will look.
Yes, perhaps in the other temple, or he would look somewhere else, or he'd look in the guardian room, where we have a much better chance of fighting. The idea is that we are trying to fool him into following us into the guardian room, where we have the best possible chance of killing him.
Okay, the wasp room sounds fine.
If we lose both battles, if the Eastern Temple loses and we lose, then well,
Yes, as a thought, just to add it to the mix. If we think that the person is reasonable, if
we don't.
if not under the vial's control, we could try and steal it. The one that he has, I mean, I don't.
I've seen it. He's used it, dropping things off of it. He carries it on his belt.
I think that'd be fine, but if it's broken, things will be disastrous here.
Well,
Who stands the best chance of stealing from him? I can curse him so that his strength is weakened, so it's harder for him to take something back.
It's
Alverler could try.
I'm not so bad at it. No, under the right circumstances and so a little bit of luck, and I'm not so. I've got quick fingers.
You know,
I got quick
Cervantes.
fingers. That's
I
all I'm
also,
Savant-
saying.
I also have quick fingers.
Cervantes, it sounds like a pretty good song speaking. A falcon and a bard stealing an evil artifact from a crazed madman.
That does sound like a good. That does sound like a good song. I'm not going to lie to you. That does sound like a pretty rad song.
Is exactly what I thought.
So is there a way that we can maximize your chances of success? Certainly by being distracting is helpful.
Yeah. Is it possible that you can create an image of this one so that he will look at that image instead of where this one is hiding?
I'm not capable of illusions.
Okay, let's reframe. What do you have? Let's not come up with infinity things you don't have. Focus on what we have here.
We've got myself and another. We are fairly beginner divine magic users. And we have a number of giant wasps. And the Guardian.
Okay. After the wasps hide the corruption in amber and we have hidden it, then perhaps we could use the giant wasps to aid the bard in the stealing. If they swarm him, it'll be much harder for him to defend.
So the other thing is, we're gonna have to find a way to get me close to him without him noticing me.
Well,
So
that's
if
why
you
I
got
think
any
the giant
potions of
wasp.
like invisibility or something, anything like that.
I'll get on top of him, and when he's distracted by, being hammered, you can go and sneaky up on him. I think there is the clearest thing is to jump the fuck out of him.
Yes.
And we also cannot overcomplicate
a situation. At some point, every single one of us will have to just hope we manage a part of the plan. It is not. There's no shame in that. It is just how.
There was a slim chance. Yeah, there's a spell. You can yell it at a person, and they could drop something they're holding.
But if he drops it and it breaks,
I mean, yeah, it's
you know
something.
what?
It
You're
is
right.
something.
It is something.
It's a
That-
very low level skill.
The vial is meant to be quite difficult to break for that very purpose. I imagine dropping it from a hand wouldn't break it, but I don't know what condition it's in after being in the possession of someone for some time.
We will try to rob him. Try to take the vial.
That's
If
fine
we
by
do
me.
take, if we do take the vial, we have not seen him fly before. If we take it, I could attempt to take it to the air. Try to take it somewhere else.
And at
That's
least
fine.
the rules of the battle change after we've removed the vial from him. This is now seeing how he will react and going from there.
Violent. Probably.
Potentially. I just don't think it's as guaranteed as when he has the vial.
Bring the wasps into the guardian room. We will set up in the guardian room.
And probably only one of us should hide the vial for us. So that way, if we lose, there is a slightly higher chance that the one that knew the answer is dead. Not learn.
And we're positive he won't find the vial in the wasp room.
He hasn't searched them before, and he didn't
Well,
know if there
is
was.
there a way to
You may be able
break
to.
the
Listen.
break the lever? I'm sorry.
It's alright. It's alright. He may be able to feel the presence of the vial. I think we put our hopes in our victory in the guardian room, and not concern ourselves with what happens if we die.
Well, he did search the archive where there was not a vial.
I mean,
what
th-
do you
there could be protection magics over the vial containers that I haven't thoroughly
Are you
examined
saying so?
us.
To you, my friend.
What were you saying?
I was saying, if we were to seal it in the wasp room, the wasp room is fairly hidden. If we could break the lever so that it can't open again, you might not be able to get to it at all.
Are you under the if the lever's broken, it'll be obvious. But do you think that the door itself is enough to keep him out?
I mean, I may be completely wrong on how I'm picturing this. It seems like it seals, like seamless, can't see the door without it being open, right?
There's like a small seam that you can see from the outside.
And is it like, what is it made of?
It seems to be stone, and like when you pull the lever, the stone shifts in.
Okay, so and seems different than, like, how much thicker is that than the door at the front of the temple?
The front door is thicker. The
Front door is thicker?
yeah, the front door is like 1.5 feet thick. It's pretty thick.
Well, the question is not if he could ever get through it. The question is, could he get through it before we attack him, force him to focus on something else?
I'll leave the planning up to you. You seem more competent in this sort of thing. I was just throwing in my 2 cents.
So what do you think, team?
We keep the vial. If we lose the force.
I will keep the vial. If things go too badly, I will try to levitate and fly away.
All right. I hand him the vial. Well, I guess you already have the vial.
Well,
Or they-
the temple guy
they have
has it,
vial.
but
Brave will show the vial.
All right. I will retrieve it. I caution you not to open it.
oh no, I do not wish to open it or experience anything that's inside it.
Very well. And he would go into the archive room and kind of place a hand upon it, sort of this section of wall, mutter something, and there'd be a as kind of a panel opens up, which he slides and takes out this small box, hands it over.
So wrap it in paper and like bandage to try and like wrap it kind of thoroughly.
Sure. Yeah, it's probably about this big. Like a football cube.
Maybe we could hide it on him where even he doesn't know.
We give him the second vial on his person.
Yeah. No. Not
No,
on the
me.
guy who's attacking on Brevo.
Oh,
Here's the problem. My second plan, if flying away does not work, is having my bird glided away from me while I die somewhere. So we would want me to know where it is so I could hand it off to the next.
Well, we let the bird know, but we don't let you know.
Perfect. Except then I also know, because the bird and I have linked minds.
Curse.
Right. This is why I gave you the warning, that if you discuss near the bird, I also hear. Because I did not wish to eavesdrop.
Understood.
Yes,
Well,
the
this-
bird is actually a fae, so not actually a bird either.
Come here, bird. I take the bird to a different room.
Okay.
Okay.
The bird likes you. The bird will accept.
I say to the bird, Brevo has really cool style. And then I come back.
Other
Thank you.
thing, we should tell the other temple to let him in, give no resistance. Tell him that the vial's here.
Well,
it'll take some
just
convincing.
told them anyway.
Yes. I've been thinking of that. My only thought is to try to make them hide, which goes against the oaths they've sworn, but perhaps we'll keep them alive.
Yes, that's my thinking. Is I'd like them to not die if we can help it.
It'll
So
Take-
far, we have been unsuccessful in saving anyone. So
Well, these people. We could save these people.
Yes, you could save these people.
I think we're all
Tell
in the
me,
guardian.
what-
Listen,
Oh, go
we're
ahead.
all in the guardian room together. We fight together.
I agree.
Alright, my partner is able to cast a spell that will. It's a low level, but it'll let him know if someone has entered the front door.
Perfect. Alarm is a perfect. Anyway, what is your names? Let's get to know each other. I have some wine in here somewhere.
Yes, it hasn't been clear. We don't really do names. Just
Well,
Western
we
Guard.
haven't gotten to know you. As I've said, we haven't corpse. It is good to meet you, Guardians.
to meet you as well.
Do you
If-
do wine?
No, we don't drink. If we should convince them now, and
Yes.
then worry about festivities perhaps later, because if
Yes.
what you said is correct, and this person moves faster than you, then he's bound to arrive at one of the temples fairly soon.
Do you mind if I observe this process so I would understand the use of the orb better?
Sure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that a lot.
He would take the orb and sort of take it over towards like the central area within the chamber that has the wasp and the archives. And there's kind of a small sort of slot in the floor. You'd see him place it and then kind of twist it like 90 degrees counterclockwise. And you kind of hum a different hum. I just changed its orientation from orienting to the South Temple to the East Temple orb. If I did it again, it'd be the North Temple orb, and if I did it once more, it'd be my own orb, which I'm not even sure what that would do. Probably cascading failure. Because a message sent that repeats itself over and over. It might break it, I'm not sure.
Okay, so it is just a matter of focus and kind of your resonance with the orb, is that true?
Yes, more or less. Yeah, you can. But this floor is a good way to orient it. This symbol here.
Do you mind if I take down a copy of that symbol? I would like to keep this orb for study and perhaps to talk to you again sometime in the future.
By all means, take down however many notices you need. In the meantime, I will send to the other temple.
Yes, don't mind me behind.
And perhaps we'll get things set up as needed.
Yes, my friends and I, tactically very competent. We'll get done.
Okay, let me move you guys to the temple room map. Now, this one does show corruption. That is unlike the one that you are currently in.
So the one we're in does not have that.
Correct, yes. There's not currently any corruption in there.
we have this interaction, and we walk in, he's like...
I'm like, oh, shit.
He's already corrupted the Guardian.
Correct, so let me...
They were just fucking with us the entire time.
Gotcha, idiot. Yeah, let me
psych right now.
say psych right now. Okay. And I will also place what forces... That's not the right one. What forces
Give us
you'll
an
be
appropriate
commanding.
GIF in the memes channel.
I will check it out briefly.
Bravely.
2 temple guards, and then you have 4 wasps as well.
And a guardian.
And the guardian, correct. Now the entrance is like right here.
What's the guardian look like? Uncorrupted. What kind of creature is this?
So you go up into the room, and it's like kind of a deep forest green. A lot of its buds are blooming almost like pinkish, like a cherry blossom tree. Kind of has a nice palette of colors. Doesn't really have any of the ooze coming out of it that the previous one did. So what's the plan? There's a kind of a double wide door in this slot that leads
Who
to
has
here.
ranged abilities? Like bows and arrows, anything they can throw.
I can shoot things and I can yell mean words at people
Uh-huh.
from a range.
I think those should be towards the back a little bit more.
Here's another thing. What do you guys think about trying to use a mind control spell on him as he enters?
What do you think of?
Will I have charm person?
I don't think that will really cut it. It does not necessarily mean that he will not attempt to accomplish his goal.
No, but we could ask it to see the vial, and he'd be like, "Yeah, okay," and then give us the vial. That way, I don't have to try to steal from him right away, and then we just smash him.
I am familiar with this spell. If we take hostile action, it won't work. I
don't have to
feel like
take-
it's a long shot.
If we put the guardian here, range people here, and then there's
Tell you
the
what.
front melee.
We'll try it. You may try it. If it works, excellent. Just will prepare as if it does not. Does that seem acceptable, Cervantes?
That's fine. I just, it's not something I really like using, but I thought maybe that'd be an easy way. We don't, I don't know.
Where would you like us positioned? We're capable of small feats of magic.
Can you do healing?
I'm capable of small healing, yes.
So you will need to be second. Agenet will probably need and if my bird is successful, they might try to kill him.
Right, so is this where you're thinking for us?
Yes, should be
Roughly?
right behind you, like in that little choke point. And then Bravo, our precious little thing keeper, you go behind the tree.
Yes, I will be standing within sight of the exit. That way, if I need to run off for secret reasons, I only need to cast and go. No waiting.
These bugs are my friends.
Yeah, they would kind of like I don't know if you've seen them before. They're kind of wasp-like creatures called mud daubers is what we called them. But
Yes,
they kind of have like a little twitchy thing to them. They kind of have a similar thing. These wasps kind of crawling along the wall twitch a little bit as they move around.
Well, Agenet, many people are your friends. That does not cut it down at all. But these specific wasps are your battle.
I have 3 friends other than the wasp.
Well, if I brought you back to my home, you'd have my sister, and then you'd have, presumably, at least my mother.
Sorry,
Then-
4th friends. I wasn't counting the bird. The bird is very important.
The bird is also. Is a bird approves of you all of you, really, fairly well.
Mm-hmm. But I don't consider your family friends yet. I have not met them. Not friends yet. All right. I do not know what the shadow bird is.
Gone.
Oh no. Okay.
And what's that shadow bird?
Never
Um,
saw it.
Oh,
But the temple guard would sort of turn towards the rest of you. So I've cast the spell, and if he's able to enter, then I'll get a warning. Uh, Additionally, I was able to get in contact with the Eastern Temple, and
The west. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Because we're in
I've-
the west.
correct. I've managed to talk them out of engaging, and they'll be taking up hiding, so to speak, in the sort of large nature room. So hopefully they're able to be hidden enough.
Okay.
Fortunately, I think now is the only thing to do is wait.
Yes. I think we should put the have the wasps kind of the 2 wasps on either side. Then these 2 wasps go about right here, right there. Yeah.
He would hand you some like honeycomb. Lead them over there, would you?
Yeah, I do. I'm taking great joy in this as well.
Yeah, like their wing beats kind of produce a lot of downforce, so like you can see a lot of like dust kind of getting blown away from where they're sort of hovering towards this honeycomb.
Hmm.
Then they kind of like skitter and munch on it a little bit. And with the stage set, you all wait. Few
I'll tell
hours
the
pass.
story of, I'll recite the story of Sir Gwari and the Earnest, like just a pleasant little tale from my home, while we wait.
Just underscoring it. When we start to hear movement, I'm going to cast heroism on Johnny. That's why I'm starting where I'm at.
Yeah,
Okay.
And when I start to hear music, I'll give myself. Or when I start to hear the sound of things starting, I'll be like, plus life.
Okay. After probably about 5-6 hours, a few of you have kind of gone into more like reclining positions, prepared for what could be a long wait. Um, the temple guardian kind of bolts up and stands up. Someone just came through our sealed front door.
And I cast false life.
Okay.
You're muted.
Giovanni is on his feet.
Okay. Some time would pass.
Do you need like perception to hear movement coming up the stairs?
Yeah, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
I'll try it, and my bird will assist me. Actually, I guess I'm assisting my bird. Really. Because my bird is really good at it. No, I can't assist my bird. He gets.
Yeah, he's already got
Yeah.
advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't assist him.
Can't assist my bird.
Oh my god, 20 for the bird.
20 for the bird. Okay, so sort of the first thing, your bird starts to relate to you. That someone has made it to the door from the nature area. Then, Ajanet, you'd start hearing the sound of like and then
I'll give him.
sound of kind of a perhaps of like maybe the door being knocked off its hinges or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a play-by-play. Like the bird's like, all right, he's moving this direction. And they're like, yeah. Like my finger tracking. Huh?
Then, after a little bit longer, Syl starts to hear it as well. The door splintering to what you imagine is the archives room,
Mm-hmm.
followed by sounds of sort of broken stone clattering. Then you all would start to hear footsteps. Slow
I
and
cast
methodical. Okay. Sounds of boots on stone stairs. Just kind of. And after probably 20, 25 steps, there's a pause. And we'll end there for this session.
Oh no.
So we'll be back next week to figure out the conclusion of this.
Mhm.
And